It's Mike Fleischman talking with Cory Stoner, head coach of the Jimtown Jimmies here at the 28th Annual IFD RRSN Kickoff Classic from Beef O'Brady's. Coach, nothing remarkable in the offseason, just another year of getting ready for football. All joking aside, you get the team together for the first time, you're living in a different reality. What's your message to the team to get them ready to not only accept some of the new procedures that the football team has to be doing in order to stay safe and play football, but also just to settle everyone down and get them in the mindset that you need to have a successful program?
Sure, absolutely. It's obviously been a giant curveball. I'm a baseball guy, so a giant curveball for us here in the off season. But really, just tell the kids we're living life here. This is a life lesson, and you got to take it in stride. You got to be disciplined. You got to show grit to push through that. And at the end of the day, you got to be optimistic that in the long run things are going to work out. Doesn't mean right now necessarily, but it means in the long run things play out the way they should.
Coach, if we want to focus on the action on the field, 7-5, lost the sectional championship to Marion last year. Coming back this year, you've got a 1,000-plus yard rusher in the backfield ready to go. You've got a new quarterback joining him. Anytime you put a new quarterback under center, what are some of the things that you as a coaching staff have to do to be ready, and what are some of the things that a new quarterback has to do to take the field as a high school player for the first time?
Sure. Any position with a new kid in it, especially quarterback, you got to try and relieve some of that pressure from him. We're trying to eliminate some of the thinking that goes into some of the plays and take some of that off of his shoulders. Obviously got Ethan Duvall in the backfield who can carry the load, and then a tremendous line in front of him. I'm really excited about the offensive line that we can put in front of a first-year quarterback in Tyson House, and that'll go a long way in building confidence in a young quarterback.
I love offensive line play. It's something that it's hard to get across on the radio all the time, but tell me some of the things that the Jimtown Jimmies do with their offensive linemen to make sure that they're ready for a season. What are some of the keys to great offensive line play?
Thick, quick, and nasty. That's what we tell them. Thick, quick, and nasty. And you're right. The average fan doesn't see that the game's won and lost there, but it really is. When you can control and dominate the line of scrimmage and do what you want with the football, it makes play calling a whole lot easier. Defensively, same thing. When you can control your gap and hold down your gap, your position, makes it a whole lot harder to call offensive plays. And it's gritty. It's gritty. You're not going to get a ton of highlights. You're not going to get a ton of praise. Like you're saying, it's hard to call offensive line, defensive line stuff, but you got to have that grit to push past it.
Coach, when you take a look at the defensive side of the ball, what are some of the things that you're stressing this year? What are some of the things that you think you're going to excel at on the defensive side this year?
We're really inexperienced. We're going to have a lot of new kids, new faces on the defensive side of the ball, which is exciting as a coach, and obviously we're going to approach that optimistically with those new faces in there. But we do have some anchoring the line. Got Hunter Hoffman, who played last year, Vince Rieksacker, who played there last year. And then we're adding pieces into that, and we've got some good athletes. Defensively, we like to say we're an offense. We're going to play aggressive. We like to see the offense adjust to us as opposed to the defense adjusting to them. As most people think about it, we're going to stunt, we're going to play fast, we're going to run to the football.
If my notes are correct, your fourth year in the program, your first as the head coach after 3 seasons as the defensive coordinator. Tell me a bit about your staff and your players that have really helped you.
Sure. I've been on staff for 7.
Okay.
The last 4 there with the defensive coordinator or special teams coordinator. But a lot of those guys are still here. A lot of those mentors that I came in with Ned Cook, Gene Johnson, Mark Ward, are either still on staff or working behind the scenes. Mark Ward, Hall of Fame coach, tremendous guy, tremendous coach. He's coaching our running backs. He's coaching our DBs. Gene Johnson, another Hall of Fame coach, helping us on special teams. Ned Cook, Hall of Fame coach, is behind the scenes helping us break down film offensively and defensively. Those guys are the reason why I'm here, and those guys are there right beside me, which is an awesome feeling.
And a couple of final questions here. Let's take a look at the last 7 days that you guys have to get ready for week 1. What do the Jimtown Jimmies have to do between now and kickoff to be ready?
Our staff is putting a huge emphasis on focusing on what's ahead of us. With all the uncertainty going on, offensive coordinator Dan Slayball's doing a great job of preaching, what do you got to do on this play? That's where your focus is, because you don't know where the next one may come from. And just take each day, each step, and get a little bit better. We've strung 3 good practices in a row, and tomorrow we'll go for 4 in a row.
And Coach, one last question I'm asking it to all the guys who I get to talk to in my little video booth here tonight. What can, especially now, and I think we've learned a lot about uncertainty in our lives. We've all had a lesson of having a lot of things in our lives shaken up. What can the game of football do to prepare the young men who play it, and how can the game of football help people, not only just high schoolers, but as they continue?
There's no greater game of selflessness where you've got to put your needs and your wants aside for what's good for the group. 11-man going at it every play, and you've got to trust your brothers to do their part. There's no other game, and I'm a baseball guy, there's no other game that teaches you that selflessness like football can. Football teaches you about determination, and it really teaches you about anti-entitlement. Like you're not always guaranteed something in life. You're not always guaranteed that next snap in football. You got to earn it, and you got to earn it in life too.
Cory Stoner, head coach of the Jimtown Jimmies. Thanks very much, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.